Hi guys, I am now on the YouTube channel, but I'm going to be sharing some information that might even get the channel shut down. I'm also on Times and Signs Facebook. I'm also on my timeline. I'm sorry, but I've got to share some info. First up is going to be a video, and I'm going to get it up for you. But this one's just about regular breaking news of heavy police presence reported at Regency Court. I'm going to play that first.
Breaking news alert: the Regency area. Police are trying to get a large crowd under control. News4JAX reporter Marilyn Parker is there. Marilyn, the police are trying to get them to leave?
Yes, that was a situation a few minutes ago, and right before we came to you live, we actually saw one person being taken into police custody, and we were asked to be pushed back further off the property. You can see a few more policemen making their way over here now, but we saw one person being taken into custody, and then shortly after that, several people were rushed over. We heard sirens going off, and people were running towards the middle, right in front of Skate City. They're asking us to move back a bit further right now, and while we do that, we're gonna take you this way. And I spoke with Miss Davina earlier. You sent in a Facebook video. Can you tell me what happened and what from the beginning? Just kind of start from the beginning. What happened?
Well, initially we came out here for a concert,
I got you.
a little tootsie concert in DJ Shab or some other DJs, and my daughter got in pretty early, and so I decided to stay out here just to, you know, let parents know that their kids are safe or whatnot, so parents could come out if they needed to. We were here, I was taping for about an hour, and there were several incidents that happened. One young lady got maced, another one got punched, and then shots were fired. And then we ran into Longhorn. When we ran into Longhorn, we was met by a manager who wasn't so kind that we were coming in. I guess they knew what was going on, but we were then locked in. We got out and they condensed the line down to, like, you know, half of what it was initially, and then the police started pushing us back, and we saw them with ARs and different types of, you know, assault rifles for the event.
Okay. And do you think initially, do you know if the shooting was on the inside or outside?
It was inside of the parking lot, but on the perimeter of the parking lot, so it was over by the light.
Understood. And was it just a lot of chaos, people running? Yeah. What all did you see?
Yeah, it was kids running everywhere. It was mayhem going through here. So and we didn't see the shooting, we just heard it. So it sounded really close. So it was within about, you know, by rooms to go. That's what I say it was. I'm not quite sure because I didn't see a gun or anything, but we did hear it.
You did hear it. And then, you know, was this supposed to be just a night for kids to come out and enjoy and, you know, show off maybe their Christmas clothes? Right. What was it supposed to be?
Yeah, it was a night for kids to come out and, you know, have an entertainment event. And it was not supposed to get to this capacity. I'm quite sure, because several people had said that the capacity inside didn't match outside. The line was around here. And so to me, I don't know, it looked like, in my estimation, it looked like about 10,000 kids out here, kids and adults.
Understood. Well, thank you so much for letting us know. We appreciate it. And we actually want to take you over to our photojournalist, Riley Story. He is on the other side. And Riley let me know a few moments before we came to you live that there is a large presence of people in front of the wing stop that's on the other side of the complex where I'm standing. He says it seems as though police were they were pushing the crowd over to that side initially. And so right now, I want to let you know what we did gather from police before we came to you live. They tell us just before 9 p.m. is when they started to give the order to disperse the crowd. We'd asked if someone was injured after getting multiple reports of a possible shooting. They said they weren't sure if anyone had been injured, but they did let us know that there will be a JSO briefing at some time tonight. So we're waiting to get more information on when that might be. And of course, we'll bring you all the updates that we have. And up until a few moments ago, they were allowing people to drive up where we're standing and pick up their kids as they were dispersing from the parking lot. And it's just a matter of, you can see where the Longhorn is to our far left from the rooms to go. There were kids pretty much covering the parking lot, and police they were pushing them out, telling them to disperse. And again, not too long ago, right before we came to you live, there were still some kids inside the parking lot, some other people inside the parking lot, and we did see one person being brought into police custody. We're not sure exactly what happened there, but we're going to keep an eye on it and bring you more updates as they develop. Janice?
Yes, Marilyn, I had one question for you. So the woman just mentioned that she saw hundreds and hundreds of kids out there. Were these kids social distancing? Were they wearing masks due to COVID-19?
And so I did see a few people wearing masks, and they were very, very spaced out. Many of the kids that we saw, they were in their own individual groups, but some of them, say, for instance, were wearing their masks like this, not necessarily covering their face, but I did see a good handful of people with masks, some of them not. So, and the social distancing, the videos that we saw on Facebook that they were lined up against here, many of them were very packed in tightly and close together. And of course, when all of the running and kind of chaos started to happen, we didn't see much of the mask, and of course not too much the social distancing as people are running away, trying to get away from the chaotic scene. So we're going to be reviewing some of the video that we have and talking with other people out here. Again, the police are still here trying to hold down the scene, and as I told you before, we're told that there are still several people on the other side of this complex kind of packed together in front of that Wingstop restaurant.
All right, again, Marilyn Parker reporting live from the Regency Arlington area. I'm sure the police will give us that update as soon as possible. We'll come back to you for that. Thank you, Marilyn.
And the next video, if you're on our YouTube channel, I'm going to play it anyway.
Hi, I am a registered nurse in Nashville, Tennessee, and my name is Khalilah Mitchell. I'm reaching out to everyone about the COVID-19 vaccination. I recently took the COVID-19 vaccination. After the shot, I felt fine, but within 3 days, I went to the doctor because I had problems with my face. The whole left side of my face, actually. I have Bell palsy now. And as you can see, I can't smile. I'm trying to smile. I'm getting embarrassed. But I just want everyone to know that I think this vaccination is the worst thing ever. And I would not give this to anybody, even my worst enemy. Hi, I am a registered nurse in Nashville, Tennessee, and my name is Khalilah Mitchell. I'm reaching out to everyone about the COVID-19 vaccination. I recently took the COVID-19 vaccination. After the shot, I felt fine, but within 3 days, I went to the doctor because I had problems with my face. The whole left side of my face, actually. I have Bell palsy now. And as you can see, I can't smile. I'm trying to smile. I'm getting embarrassed. But I just want everyone to know that I think this vaccination is the worst thing ever. And I would not give this to anybody. Hi, I am a registered nurse in Nashville, Tennessee, and my name is Khalilah Mitchell. I'm reaching out to everyone about the COVID-19 vaccination. I recently took the COVID-19 vaccination. After the shot, I felt fine, but within 3 days, I went to the doctor because I had problems with my face. The whole left side of my face, actually. I have Bell palsy now. And as you can see, I can't smile. I'm trying to smile. I'm getting embarrassed. But I just want everyone to know that I think this vaccination is the worst thing ever. And I would not give this to anybody, even my worst enemy. Please, America, they do not care about us. Do not take this vaccination.
Well, you heard it. Okay? In these last days, you need to be prepared. Folks, be prepared. Keep looking up to Yeshua HaMashiach, but don't follow the ways of the world. I would love to hear on the YouTube channel. I know I'm live on our Facebook page in my timeline. But there's information that they've been handing out to caregivers and medical teams. And that information I showed earlier, but I'm going to go back over it for the YouTube channel of what I'm talking about. Okay, what I'm talking about. First off, this is what Pfizer put out in the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. You see what's up on the screen. Okay. That's from Pfizer. Okay, that's what's in it. And I looked up every detail, which I can't share with the YouTube channel, but I can tell you this. Caregivers were given this. Okay? Recipients and caregivers were given that. All right? And a lot of the doctors are not sharing this information. By the way, they refuse to share it. There's poster boys and poster girls who'd rather do what the system says to do than to take heed to the warning that's on this paper. This is what they hand out to all. Again, you see it's what the FDA has handed out. Okay? And what they have to notify all the recipients and caregivers right there. This is what they're giving people. Okay? And you can see what's on that page is the side effects. All right, the side effects. And the side effects go beyond that, by the way. It even talks about your heart. And if you want more information right there, to report the vaccine averse event, that's the fax number, that's the telephone number, and the website. This is their information. This is not my own, this is theirs. Website address right there with the 800 number. Please include Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine ELA. All their information is up on the screen. Okay. It just broke my heart when I heard it from that woman. I just share it with you. Share it by Alan Brayshaw. He gave me the information on that. It's sad to hear that. Please be wary these last days. Next up, there's been so many fires and things, house explosions, and I'm going to play one of them. Okay? It's been a lot of them today and yesterday.
Research shows people remember commercials with nostalgia. So to help you remember that, Liberty Mutual customized.
To the latest on a fire out of Cranston. Firefighters battled flames at one Cranston home last night. The East Street building suffering serious damage. Sunday, the man who lives there is actually thankful after something unexpected alerted him to get out. So news reporter Brittany Schaefer is live now from the scene with those details. Brittany. Well, Chelsea, Porfirio Otero is crediting his dog for alerting him about the fire. He says it all started around the back outside here where you can see the siding is clearly charred, and he and his family were inside unaware of what was happening.
It's tough to say this.
Porfirio Otero, emotional Sunday as he looks at the home his family has lived in for 9 years, a day after flames tore through.
By the time the fire company got here, it was just flame all over the place.
Otero, his wife, and pets made it out of the home safely, but Otero says that almost didn't happen. He tells us the fire started outside and he and his wife were unaware inside when the fire started. He is now thanking his dog for alerting him.
My little dog went crazy. She started barking at the window. So my nephew got up and said, "It's a fire outside." Little dog is a hero, though. She's a hero.
Otero then called 911 and tried to put out the flames from outside. Firefighters arrived on scene around 10 p.m. It took crews several hours to knock down flames and remove any hot spots.
I said, give me some water, And I tried to throw some water in there, but the fire, because the vinyl siding, it was already dripping down, and that's some material stuff. So
Here's another woman that burnt to death.
Research shows people remember commercials with nostalgia. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customized.
The family came together this morning and we just, was there until her last breath.
New at 9, a woman who narrowly escaped a fire that broke out in a Mobile apartment complex Christmas morning has died from her injuries. Morella Porter joins us live with more. Morella, her family identifies her as Jacqueline Sylvester.
Yeah, that's right, Bob. And they say that she'd been in the hospital suffering with serious injury. She was in critical condition and recently, as of yesterday, was in stable condition. But today they got the devastating news that she was not going to make it. Just 2 days after making it out of a devastating fire early Christmas morning, 50-year-old Jacqueline Sylvester passing this afternoon.
My mom was most definitely a fighter.
Sylvester narrowly escaped flames that ripped through her apartment on Seabreeze Court in Mobile. Her family says she fought her way out of the blaze, losing everything, but making it out alive.
And they were said that, some dudes heard her screaming, for help or whatever. And I thank God for the two gentlemen that, helped her out the house the rest of the way.
LaDeja Sylvester says her mother suffered internal damage, third-degree burns, and a cracked skull. She last saw her mom on Christmas Eve and spoke to her just hours before the blaze broke out.
She was extraordinary. I want to be who I am without that lady.
She meant to see her that night to give her her favorite chocolates, but never made it.
You can just imagine how bad I feel because every little thing I did that prevented me to go see her, I could have stopped. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I could have stopped what happened.
Her loved ones still coping with a tragic accident, now heartbroken over the loss of the mother, grandmother, sister, and friend.
Do you believe that? If you think your life's going to be amazing, it will be.
That has a powerful impact on people. So powerful.
Hey everyone, Shelby here with 𝐀𝐑𝐄. The big breaking news tonight, President Trump has signed a coronavirus relief bill avoiding a government shutdown that was coming up ahead tomorrow night. No relief appears to be on the way now. There's no doubt this pandemic has been so difficult, especially financially, for so many people. Tonight, I spoke with one couple from New Brighton who says their pandemic unemployment assistance expired at the beginning of the month because neither of them are working at this time. They've gone pretty much the entire month of December without a paycheck. Hear from them tonight and what their family is needing most during this time.
Okay, Limu, you said it. Then as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so they only pay for what they need. Got it?
Bruce, what is the president saying?
So less than a week ago, he called this bill a disgrace, and now he signed it. So to explain that, he's issued a statement saying that he signed the bill, but he's sending a strong message, that's his wording, to call on Congress to remove certain items that he says are wasteful. He's going to send a formal rescission request, insisting, again, his word, that those funds be removed from the bill. So a lot of window dressing here, but the fact is he's backed down from what he had seemed to be threatening just a few days ago.
What is it?
Research shows people remember commercials with nostalgia. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual
And back here at home, Floridians are bracing to struggle even more as those unemployment benefits have dried up. ABC Action News reporter Rebecca Petit spoke to one Tampa mother who was depending on that stimulus package that's now in limbo.
The unemployment benefits that Kristen Turner was receiving since the beginning of the pandemic was keeping her family of four afloat. And now that's been taken away. Turner tells me on December 26th, the day after Christmas, her unemployment benefits stopped. Turner works in childcare and her center shut down back in March. She and her husband, who was still working, had been able to make ends meet with the little bit of unemployment she was receiving. Now they're not sure how they're going to pay the bills.
Luckily, we've been able to pay rent. Now rent's due in a few days and we're kind of like, we're not sure.
Turner says it's urgent for her family to have the stimulus deal passed. She tells me she knows it's not perfect, but a stepping stone until the next stimulus package. And now this lapse in funding could mean it could take up to a month before people receive their benefits. Live in Tampa, Rebecca Petit, ABC Action News.
Okay, next up, I'm going to show you Twitter. All right, so you know the news channels didn't lie what Donald J. Trump said. So here we have his Twitter account, 45th President of the United States of America. He said 4 hours ago, good news on the COVID relief bill, information to follow. Before that, it says, see you in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, don't miss information follow. And 5 hours ago, he says, on behalf of two great senators, I will be going to Georgia on Monday night, January 4th, to have a big and wonderful rally. So important for our country that they win. And he said, this is a must-see. And here's what he put out 22 hours ago. I'm going to play it.
COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election. Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID relief bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment. $25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan. $505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. $40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., which is not even open for business. $1 billion for the Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico, a provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries, $3 million in poultry production technology, $2 million to research the impact of down trees, $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each. This is far more than the Americans are given. Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously. They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition. Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault, not their fault. I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package. And maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
Okay, anyway, that was his Twitter page. Just so you know. Go back to it in just a second. And again, 4 hours, he put the good news on COVID relief bill, information to follow. So that, again, that was 4 hours ago. And the other video I showed you was 22 hours ago. Or before that. He posted it 22 hours ago. He says, increase payments to people to get rid of the pork. So, thought I'd share that. He goes, 2,000 plus 2,000 plus other family members, not 600. Remember, it was China's fault. And this is what he stated. And I'm merely sharing what he stated. So that you know that the news wasn't lying. Roxanne says, doing my washing, bedding, long computer washer. I do not like this control of washing clothes. I miss my regular washer. I know the feeling. JC says, as much as he is rough around the edges, he's right. Congress is so crooked and dirty. And when you go and you only want to do $600 per person, but you want money given to Smithsonian Museum, which is closed, useless businesses that are not even open. I mean, he's right. I got to admit where he's right. However, he still passed it. Okay, he passed it. So it's all over the news, and I mean, there's been explosions. And here's another one on a mobile home fire. I mean, I see so much of the fires going on right now. One has to ask what's going on. Why all these house fires? You know?
A fire that ripped through a mobile home on Saturday killed a 3-year-old boy. That's according to Bartow County Fire and EMS. It happened just before noon in the area of Clark Circle and Glade Road. The fire chief says an off-duty firefighter came across the home and tried to rescue the child, but couldn't. The county fire marshal is now working to uncover exactly what may have caused that fire.
Imagine the places we'll go together. Expedia.
We have a tragic update after a 7-year-old girl was shot while riding in the car with her family near Phillips Plaza. Kennedy Maxey died yesterday, and that's according to the Fulton County Medical Examiner. Since the shooting on Monday, the community has just rallied around Maxey and her family. A GoFundMe page raised nearly $47,000. Today, hundreds of people shared their condolences on social media, many calling her death a senseless tragedy. Police say they do not believe the car Maxey was riding in was the intended shooting target. Maxey's death is part of an uptick of violence across Atlanta this year. Just this weekend, Atlanta police responded to 3 homicides. Mara Sirianni has an update.
Okay, Limu, you said it. Then as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so they only pay for what they need.
Late Sunday, President Trump signed the bipartisan COVID relief bill that Congress passed a week ago. In a statement, he said, "As President of the United States, it is my responsibility to protect the people of our country from the economic devastation and hardship that was caused by the China virus." On Tuesday, he threw the bill's future into uncertainty when he released a video criticizing plans for $600 stimulus checks to most Americans as inadequate. Instead, he demanded $2,000 payouts.
Many millions of people are losing their extended unemployment benefits. They're going to be evicted from their apartments because the eviction moratorium is ending.
Democrats on Capitol Hill backed the idea but were blocked by Republicans.
Why would we be sending $2,000 to people with a 6-figure income who've had no suspension, no reduction of their income at all? It should be targeted to people who've actually lost their job. Small businesses that are actually in danger of going under.
Over the weekend, the legislation's outlook seemed murky. In a tweet Saturday, the president called the $600 payout in the current bill measly. After golfing with President Trump on Friday, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham tweeted that the president is more determined than ever to increase those payments. Nancy Chen, CBS News.
Well, we begin tonight with breaking news now. 1 person is dead and 3 others hurt after a car crash in Scottsdale. This is new video where it happened near Pima Road and Pinnacle Peak. That intersection is shut down now. Police say it will be for a while before it ever reopens. Investigators are looking into what led up to this crash. Stay with ABC 15 for updates as we continue to follow this developing story.
Wow. Lots going on quickly.
During the grit season, you eat like no one's watching. But if they are watching, they're probably...
Anyway, all the commercials on YouTube's insane, so...
Our top story this morning, South Korea has reported 808 new COVID-19 cases Monday, dropping slightly from the previous tallies. Health authorities have decided against raising the social distancing level to its highest tier, level 3, and will maintain level 2.5 measures in this whole area until January 3rd. Officials also said that COVID-19 vaccinations will start in South Korea from February. Our Kim Hyun-sung starts us off.
South Korea will extend level 2.5 distancing measures in the capital region for another 6 days.
After evaluating the degree of risk, we've decided to maintain the current distancing measures until January 3rd. We have contained the virus from rapidly spreading, but we're not able to see a dramatic turnaround in the spike of COVID-19 patients.
South Korea is now almost 3 weeks into enforcing level 2.5 measures in the capital region, and during that time, daily coronavirus infections have nearly doubled. Although the past 20 days have not proven level 2.5 to be particularly effective, the government finds it hopeful that the measures have slowed down movement in the capital region during the past 2 weekends. The virus's reproductive rate has also slumped, with the number dropping from 1.27 to 1.07.
Breaking developments in the Christmas explosion that rocked downtown Nashville. Federal authorities are now confirming 63-year-old Anthony Quinn Warner was the bomber. Among the evidence, surveillance footage that captured an audio warning playing from the parked RV in the moments leading up to the blast. A second angle shows the deadly force damage across multiple city blocks, phone communications knocked out. Tonight, the FBI confirms DNA from human remains recovered at this crime scene belongs to Warner. His exact motive remains a mystery. And tonight, chilling new details from the hero officers who raced to evacuate residents. Some call it a Christmas miracle that no one else was killed. ABC's Marcus Moore leads us off tonight in Nashville.
Tonight, investigators identifying the bomber behind the Christmas Day RV explosion that rocked downtown Nashville.
Oh my gosh.
Officials calling 63-year-old Anthony Quinn Warner the suspect and confirming his remains were found at the scene.
An individual named Anthony Warner is the bomber. That he was present when the bomb went off and that he perished in the bombing. We base this conclusion on forensic evidence, including DNA evidence.
Tonight, for the first time, the hero officers reliving the moments they rushed to evacuate residents just minutes before the RV exploded.
So I feel very lucky to be alive.
Officer Brenna Hosey among the first to start banging on doors.
We spoke to a mom. She said it was a female police officer, came to them. Do you remember that moment?
We needed her to evacuate. She said, okay, let me get my kids. And that kind of just like put my heart up in my throat.
As the officers scrambled, they described an ominous recording coming from the RV, warning of an imminent explosion, and then music.
It's downtown by Petulia Clark.
At 6:30 that morning, the RV exploded, sending a powerful shockwave through the city. Officer Wells was closest to the blast and had been trying to reach fellow officer Amanda Topping.
I literally heard God tell me to turn around and go check on Topping, who was by herself down on Broadway. And as I turned around, for me, it felt like I only took 3 steps. And then the music stopped. And as I'm walking back toward Topping now, I just see orange. And then I hear a loud boom. And as I'm stumbling, because it rocked me that hard, I started stumbling. I just tell myself to stay on your feet, stay alive.
The force of the blast left Officer Wells with temporary hearing loss, but thankful to escape.
I've never grabbed somebody so hard in my life.
In the search for answers, investigators are focusing on at least 2 different locations in suburban Nashville. ABC News obtaining this video of agents carrying out bags of evidence at a home associated with Warner. A Google Maps image of the house from May of 2019 shows what appears to be a similar RV parked right outside. Neighbors confirming it rarely moved, but they said by Christmas morning, it was gone.
It just stays there. So this was something that just looked suspicious, that it wasn't there anymore.
Court records show Warner once owned and lived in the home being searched, but recently transferred the deed to a woman in California. It may be only part of the puzzle. Tonight, there's still no official motive for the explosion that destroyed part of the city, but left these officers more bonded and a community grateful to its heroes who saved lives. I think.
Dundas Street West fire. Firefighters shown battling a 3-alarm blaze that appears to be an abandoned building on Dundas Street West, Sterling Road, Toronto. This is in Toronto, Canada. Next up. West Virginia. West Virginia. That's a meteor in West Virginia caught in the sky.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to us on YouTube.
Okay, is a meteor or something falls from the skies of West Virginia. So I figure I'd share that with you guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think it was a meteor or do you think it was something else? And let's see what everybody says in the chat. Hi, guys. I just wanted to go ahead and share some things. I got more to share, but I want to thank you guys for being here for Fiverr, JC, Roxanne, and Jenny Ho. Aw, God bless you all in Jesus' mighty precious name. Amen. I'm going to show some more, okay? I'm trying to get that link up. Has to do with Storm Bella hits the UK and Ireland on December the 27th. It's some raw footage. And we always try to make sure we show raw footage. So here you go.
His name fucking handing down my car coverage. That's my backyard. Neighbour's roof. It's all a hail.
Wandugu, kwa saizi niko nako kumulongo tena, mulongo anajaa huku, mulongo anajaa kabisa, mulongo na yana. Saizi niko hapa kumulongo, nishatoka Sange hivi ni kumulongo, mulongo na yana.
Tazama injili pe. Tazama injili tena, lwaje soleka. Lokola itebe kokoma.
Una fenomenal.
Nzambe na ngai. Onete kana mai njiri nzambe. Pea sana ebembe yango.
Ora sono Peter, una Peter
mandi su
yeye fulani kimorame ya bondi.
这不是贵姓，哇，这不是贵姓，这是什么呀？多长时间知道吗？知道601吗？这是
Not good news as ICU beds are stretched thin. In fact, the Department of Defense is now sending another round of medical personnel to 2 San Joaquin County hospitals. CBS 13's Ryan Hill is live at one of those hospitals with the details. Ryan?
Yeah, that's right, Marley. We're here at Lodi Memorial Hospital, one of the 2 hospitals in San Joaquin County that will receive that DoD assistance, and they're awaiting their arrival as they try to expand the capacity of ICU beds in this region. They're sending nearly 40 members to Lodi Memorial and to Dameron Hospital in Stockton. We're talking more physicians, respiratory therapists, and nurses, and other types of support staff for these hospitals. And like you mentioned, that this isn't the first time. In July, the DoD sent a team to the Lodi Memorial Hospital as well. I did talk with San Joaquin County's Emergency Medical Services this afternoon. They tell me this latest team will be sent to Lodi and Stockton to expand the ICU capacity for San Joaquin County. The county EMS says that they worked with the state on how to expand that capacity and which facilities could be having the space to be able to have more ICU beds. And with Lodi Memorial and Dameron Hospital were those 2 facilities that had enough space to expand. So they also needed additional staffing to do all that.
And the field hospital inside the Sleep Train Arena is treating 13 patients tonight. That is down from 17 nearly a week ago.
And the weather may be to blame for a series of explosions that rattled the Muskego area today, something called a frostquake. Social media and police switchboards sure lit up early this afternoon, reporting those booms. 12 News' Nick Bohr is live at the Muskego Police Department. Nick, they responded to a number of calls this afternoon.
Right, Matt, police here checking out all of those reports here in town, everything they could, but according to a social media post, found no man-made reason for those sounds. A Big Bend man did share some video with us that was shot from his backyard camera. It is admittedly not too impressive. However, the man who gave us this video, Mike Kudlewski, says it was solid enough to rattle the windows and get his dogs barking. He says his sister, 5 miles away, felt and heard the same thing. There are reports on social media describing similar booms from Waterford to Waukesha to New Berlin to Wind Lake. Some describe it sounding like gunfire, others an explosion. Here's Mike's take.
Sounded like something blew up. It's pretty wild.
You're like looking for smoke and that kind of thing?
Yeah, the whole house shook, the window shook. I mean, it felt like something blew up out there. It was crazy.
All right, Nick, so I would assume if this was something else like an earthquake, we would know that by now.
Right. Earthquakes, we would know about it almost immediately. Those reports are coming in. But we did talk with our chief meteorologist, Mark Baden, today, who speculates that it was something called frost quakes. And if you've been in this area for a long time, you know about those. They happen with sudden temperature changes. It did warm up rapidly overnight. So that's the speculation that that could be behind the noises here in this area.
Massive crowds inside two major Albuquerque churches seen celebrating the holiday with few face masks and little to no social distancing. The videos of these services circulating online are now sparking outrage from New Mexicans, as Bernalillo County is still showing no signs of getting out of the red zone anytime soon. Let's get to News 13's Jeannie Nguyen. Jeannie.
Jackie, state officials have been warning people to stay home and not gather during Christmas, but pictures and videos show both Legacy and Calvary churches held big services for the holiday. On social media, Calvary Church thanked everyone who came to the Christmas Eve service. Photos show the room was packed with not so much social distancing. While some people were wearing masks, it didn't include everyone. Also, Legacy Church posted a video of their Christmas Day service this year. Once again, a crowded room with what looks like hundreds of people with limited social distancing and masks. We grabbed this video of the service.
Research shows people remember commercials with nostalgia. So to help you remember that, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
Fort Worth firefighters continuing to keep a close eye on that. That's a mulch fire. It started earlier this morning. This is on Salt Road near Kennedale Parkway and I-20. Officials say 4 piles of mulch about 40 feet tall actually started burning on their own between midnight and 1 a.m. As mulch decomposes, it generates heat, which can cause fires. Firefighters say it has contained that fire. They actually letting it burn itself out right now. The biggest issue obviously will be for people living nearby with respiratory issues.
Okay, wow. There's just a lot on planet Earth. Just a lot happening so quickly. Right now, I need to take a 10-minute break, and then I'm going to get back to you guys in chat. Okay, so it's going to be a 10-minute intermission. The call of natural events occur, and I got to take care of those events that I need to take care of, okay? I'll be back on in 10 minutes. Hi guys, I'm back sooner than 10 minutes, so good thing, right? So, welcome. I'm going to continue. Husband wanted me to let you know the 5 ways of nanotechnology securing your future. And this is from physics.org. Again, physics.org. And it goes on to say how we live and work and transform in tiny inventions, electronic transistor and the microchip. Make all modern electronics possible since they're developed in the 1940s. They've been getting smaller. Today, one chip can contain as many as 5 billion transistors. If cars had followed the same development pathway, we would now be able to drive them at 300,000 miles per hour, and they would cost just $3 each. But to keep this process going, we need to be able to create circuits that are extremely small, nanometre scale. A nanometre in M is 1 of the billionth of a metre, so that this kind of engineering involves manipulating individual atoms. You see that? By manipulating individual atoms. We do this, for example, by firing a beam of electrons at a material and by vaporizing it and depositing into resulting gases, atoms layer by layer onto a base. The real challenge is using such techniques, devices, the physical properties of matter, such as its melting point, the electrical conductivity, and chemical reactivity, become very different at the nanoscale. So shrinking a device can affect its performance. If we can master this technology, however, then we have the opportunity to improve not just electronics, but all sorts of areas of modern life. It goes on, doctors inside your body. Wearable fitness technology means we can monitor our health by strapping gadgets onto ourselves. There are even prototype electronic tattoos that can sense our vital signs. But by scaling down this technology, we go further by implanting or injecting tiny sensors inside our bodies. This would capture more and more detailed information with less hassle to be patient, enabling doctors to personalize their treatment. See that? What do you think's in the you-know-whats? I'm going to give you guys this link. You can actually freely talk about this link anywhere without getting in trouble. Okay? If you got a YouTube channel, I'm just letting you know that this thing right here, you're allowed to talk about on your YouTube channel. Can you believe that? So I'm going to show up on the screen when I'm reading. I'm going to go on to reading. And it goes on to say, the possibilities are endless, ranging from monitoring inflammation and post-surgery recovery, with more exotic applications whereby electronic devices actually interfere with our body signals and controlling organ function. Although these technologies might sound like a thing in the far future, multi-billionaire healthcare firms such as GlaxoSmithKline are already working on ways to develop the so-called electroceuticals. Now mind that word, electroceuticals. And the thing about it goes on to sensors everywhere. These sensors rely on newly invented nanomaterials and manufactured techniques to make them smaller, more complex, and more energy efficient. For an example, sensors with very fine features can now be printed in large quantities as flexible rolls of plastic at low cost. This opens up the possibility of placing sensors at a lot of points over critical infrastructure to constantly check that everything is running correctly. So, and then self-healing structures, making big data possible. I mean, a lot of you are aware of that. Then it goes on that here, nanotechnology helping to create ultra-dense memory that will allow us to store this wealth of data. They call it wealth of data. I mean, come on. And it's all providing inspiration, anyway, algorithms and all that. You guys are familiar with all this. Okay, and then tackling climate change with nanoparticles. Okay, so there's the website. The link address was already shown on the screen. So I'm going to go on to see if there's anything else I can share. I guess it's from a government website. Now imagine that. Future applications of micro nanotechnologies in space systems. Now remember that Donald J. Trump put out a thing about the reduction of costs and delays in space activities. This here item is from the European Space Agency. They're doing the same exact thing. Micro nanotechnologies. Okay. And go on. Okay, I guess that's all I can share for right now. I'm going to go ahead and get Bible scriptures up on the screen. Bible scriptures are so important in these last days. Matthew 21:22. And all things, whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. Romans 10:17. So then by faith cometh by hearing the word of God. Hebrews 11:6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Mark 11:22. And Jesus answered, saying unto them, have faith in God. James 2:3. Thou believest that there is one God, thou dost well. The devils also believe and tremble. And Hebrews 11:1. Now by faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. Luke 1:37. For with God nothing shall be impossible. Ephesians 2:8. For by grace you are saved through faith, and not of yourselves, it is a gift from God. Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, lean not on thy own understanding. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. 1 Corinthians 2:5. That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. Ephesians 2:8. For by grace ye are saved through faith, and not of yourselves, it is a gift of God. 2 Corinthians 5:7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. James 2:14. What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and not works? Can faith save him? James 2:24. Ye see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. James 1:5-8. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask God, and that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Wow. That's just amazing. Guys, I'm tired. I have to lay down. I did a lot yesterday, all day. Just get wore out. Everybody gets wore out when they get wore out. You know how it is. Roxanne says, wow, so you know that if I know these things, how to explain to people, right? And Roxanne says, exactly, amen, Abba. And Roxanne says, I believe. And that's what we need to do in these last days that we live in. We are in the last days. We're in the book of Revelation. We're living them. And Andrew Lewis says, good night, sweetie. Get some rest. Yeah, I plan to. And Roxanne says, in family. So that concludes our, I know it should be longer, but I wanted to be on longer, but I'm so tired. We changed the room around. I'll just show you. Yesterday, I worked scrubbing walls. The computer is no longer where it used to be. I used to be over there where my husband's mess is at, and I'm over where he used to be here in the dining room. Okay? And as you can see, I've got herb books and Bibles on my shelf with candles. So it's just a nice change. It was a lot of hard work, and we did the whole living room too. Scrubbed all the walls, shampooed the carpets, vacuumed everything from ceiling on down, and I made myself wore out. So, but it's really nice to have things cleaned up. And it's also nice to get into the biblical things with your husband. So, to spend time with your husband in the Bible and prayer and just spending time with each other. It was really nice. Roxanne says, thank you, Abba. That's okay. We all need rest. Amen. So that concludes our video tonight. Remember to keep looking up for redemption. Draweth nigh. Jesus is the way, the truth, and life. And no one can come to the Father but through him. In the name of Jesus to be saved. Jesus died for our sins. God sent his only begotten Son. Okay? Good night, you guys. Thank you for being here.